Yeah. Have you been doing all your life?
That's what I've been doing. Oh my. Yang anaknya sering pilek, batuk pilek, nggak sembuh-sembuh, terus dikasih obat ini, obat itu nggak sembuh-sembuh. Kemungkinan jangan pakai apapun untuk membersihkan telinga, bahkan nggak boleh pakai cotton bud. Oke, kembali lagi ke channel saya Andrew Sofyan Putra, di mana kita di sini membahas tentang autism, tentang studi, tentang psikologi. Dan kali ini kita ada tamu spesial dari Malaysia, one of my long lost friend, old friend ya, udah berapa tahun nggak tahu, 20 tahun nggak ketemu ya. Actually more. Lebih ya, 20 tahun lebih. Oke. Let's meet Mr. Wan Ming Hui.
Hello, hi everybody. My name is Ming Hui.
Yeah.
I'm a ENT surgeon, ear, nose, and throat.
Terjemahkan dulu ya. Ini adalah dokter spesialis THT. Kalau di Indonesia itu bacanya THT, khusus telinga, hidung, tenggorokan dari Malaysia. Ya. Jadi dulu kita satu sekolah di Singapura. Kita sama-sama dapat beasiswa. Kalau Minggu ini dapat beasiswa dari Malaysia.
Betul.
Dan kita ketemu di sekolah yang namanya SJI, St. Joseph Institution. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Ming Hui and I was born and raised in KL. Saya dilahirkan dan membesar di KL.
Di Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. Kita start secondary 3 ya. Menengah 3 di SJI. SJI. Kamu di kelas 402. Saya di kelas 404.
404 ya. Tetangga 402, 404, tapi kita tinggalnya tempat yang sama.
32. CJC Hostel.
Jadi dulu itu kita sekolahnya namanya SJI. Kalau tempat tinggalnya itu di CJC Hostel. Kalau mau berangkat sekolah harus jalan kaki. Atau naik bis satu bus stop gitu. By the way, teman-teman yang nonton ini, kita sekarang lagi ada di Batam. Ya, jadi ini sebuah kebetulan yang kita nggak rencanakan, dan kebetulan saya ada memberikan training pelatihan di Batam, dan minggu ini juga diminta untuk memberikan talk di sebuah acara di rumah sakit yang tempat dia bekerja sekarang. Jadi ini ya, kita juga bisa belajar banyak dari minggu ini. Nanti kalau misalkan kalian ada yang pengen periksa telinga, hidung, tenggorokan ya, dokter spesialis di Malaysia bisa langsung chat ke Minghui, tulis di komen, nanti siapa tahu bisa japri dapat rekomendasi, dapat nomornya gitu. Dan kita ini di Batam, anginnya kenceng karena ada di pinggir pantai guys. Ini ada di Blue Fire Beach Club, dan kita nggak nyangka kesini anginnya kenceng, jadi mungkin agak goyang-goyang screen-nya. Jadi anggap aja kalian di pinggir pantai juga. Dan lanjut aja, kita mau lanjut lagi ngobrolin tentang Minggu. So, last time you were from KL and then you went to Singapore, right? SJI. So what happened after SJI? You went to JC, ya kan? Lanjut
Junior
ke
College. Lanjut ke Junior College, Kita pergi ke Junior College yang berlainan kan? Saya ke Victoria JC. Victoria JC agak macam ini juga sebab Victoria JC di pantai.
East Coast ya?
East Coast.
Victoria JC.
Victoria JC dekat pantai, tapi saya kena lintas highway. Kita perlu lintas highway. Yes. Ada satu.
Every day you went to
tidak
highway.
No.
Your
to get to the beach.
There.
To get to the beach, I had to take a cross underneath the highway.
I know. That's where the fair price you can buy all the charcoal and
correct, for barbecue, right?
Jadi buat kalian yang mungkin belum pernah ke East Coast-nya Singapura ya, ini bukan tempat yang terlalu banyak orang tahu, tetapi tempat East Coast itu tempat yang paling sering dipakai untuk barbekyuan. Dan kalau walaupun kalian nggak bawa alat-alat, nggak bawa daging, nggak bawa makanan, di dekat pantainya itu ada semua peralatan yang kalian perlukan, dan juga daging-dagingnya itu harganya juga nggak mahal. Biasanya bisa dibeli di Fair Price atau Sheng Siong di Singapura. Biasanya. Dan itu dekat East Coast. Sekolahnya. So you went to VJC. And then university you went to back to Malaysia.
Yes, correct. Sadly, I didn't make the cut for NUS Medicine.
Wah, NUS Medicine ya.
Yeah, tough. That was my dream. Andrew, like I'm not one of those weird people who wanted to be a doctor since I was here. Yeah,
really?
I don't know why.
Jadi
like,
Minggu ini dari kecil sudah mau jadi dokter.
Pelik
Padahal dulu kayaknya ini dia rockstar loh ya.
Same.
Main gitar terus nyanyi all the small things.
You are more lah, bro. Lebih kepada you lah.
Yeah, and then I still remember we were doing that what concert was that in the hostel?
Yes.
Ya, kita dulu tempat tinggalnya sama, terus juga
betul.
apa ya, main musik
like
dia
Nights,
sama
right?
band Malaysia. Ya, waktu itu saya juga
Band Indonesia.
No, I don't think so. I didn't have. Yeah.
Kalian buat
Oke,
sorry.
ini break dulu. Back. Ya, sorry tadi ada gangguan karena di sini tempatnya rame. Kita mau lanjut lagi.
Ya.
Jadi ngobrolin tentang keinginan menjadi dokter. Ya, tidak semua orang pengen menjadi dokter karena memang belajarnya lebih banyak, ya kan? Saya dulu juga pengen jadi dokter, by the way, pengen kuliah di UGM, lulus kedokteran, ternyata malah dapat beasiswa ke Singapura, terus berubah pikiran ya ke aliran psikologi. Kenapa kok kamu mau jadi dokter? Why do you want to be a doctor? Like, what was your childhood image of medicine?
I have no idea.
Do you always love blood or?
No, I don't.
What about your parents? Are they like?
I think
in that industry.
To be fair, they are not. My father, ayah saya dulu dia membekalkan radiographing dosimeter.
What?
Radiation dosimeter.
Dosimeter,
ngukur.
measure the radio.
Ya, jika kamu bekerja dekat juru X-ray, kamu kena ada dosimeter supaya kamu tidak terlalu banyak kena X-ray semasa bekerja. Jika sudah cukup, kamu harus bercuti.
Oke.
Ayah saya jual benda itu, tetapi tidak juga. Mereka tidak pernah bagi idea. Saya pun tidak tahu mengapa. Saya orang gila kalian. Nah, just a bit crazy, I think. Just weird. Don't know why. Yeah.
So you took your degree, bachelor degree for medicine in IMU.
Correct.
Right?
That's right. IMU.
Yeah. And
it's a private medical college.
Okay.
In Malaysia. Lepas tu, selepas 4 tahun saya berminat untuk masuk bidang ENT atau THT.
So how does it work? Kalau di Malaysia, when you take medicine itu 4 tahun.
5
kedokteran. 5 sama ya. Oke, di mana-mana kalau mau kuliah kedokteran pasti lama ya. Jadi
lama.
harus semangat belajarnya.
Yeah.
So 5 tahun, and then do you have to like work first or to practice, or can you go straight to?
There is right now you have to work at minimum 3 years.
3 years
before you qualify to enter a master's program.
Okay.
So ini dalam bidang saya sajalah. Terdapat bidang-bidang lain di mana kamu boleh mengambil peperiksaan yang diiktiraf, yang di-recognize. Seperti
iktiraf is recognized.
Okay,
it's a new word for me.
Is it? Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yang recognition.
Yang diakui.
Correct. Exam yang diperakui, bila
Hmm.
masa kamu boleh ambil exam itu. Ya, tetapi dalam bidang saya, oleh kerana ia adalah bidang yang ada practical. Saya tidak boleh ambil paper macam itu. Saya tak boleh mengambil ujian macam itu. Terpaksa masuk ke universiti, dan terpaksa masuk ke universiti, syarat dia mesti kerja sebagai doktor sekurang-kurangnya 3 tahun.
3 tahun. Okay.
That's right, man.
So, where did you do that 3 years of service?
Oh, it's very interesting. I went to Kota Kinabalu in Sabah. Those of you who know Kota Kinabalu in Sabah, it's East Malaysia.
Oke, itu yang nyambung ke yang di Kalimantan ya, Pulau Kalimantan
Borneo,
ya.
Borneo.
Jadi minggu ini setelah lulus kuliah kedokteran, dia 3 tahun kerja di KK, Kota Kinabalu di utaranya Kalimantan.
Ya, utara,
gitu.
betul. Bawah dia Kuching, Sarawak and Sabah is on the
Ya,
top.
di atasnya kucing, berarti ada anjing.
Yeah. Actually, the head of Borneo looks like a dog. Serupa anjing, betul.
Okay.
Betul, memang
Yeah.
betul.
So, how is it? Is KK a small town?
No,
Or a
KK
big
is
city?
It's a very big town. It's a
Oh,
very big
okay.
town and very modern, very big, and I would say quite high cost of living also. You should go there one day, but it still's got the resort feel because it's by the beach.
Right.
Many bars like
Yeah.
this, but
Di pinggir pantai.
Ya, di pinggir pantai.
Seperti kita sekarang.
Ya.
Ini kalau suaranya kurang jelas, bukan salah kita, tapi salahnya ajeb-ajeb di belakang.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years over there, and then you continue your ENT.
Yeah, I applied
in
for master.
Malaya University.
Correct.
Ya, spesialisasinya THT di Malaya University, salah satu university top juga di Asia ini. Why ENT? Ya, kenapa kok mau jadi dokter THT? Ini tadi saya penasaran ya.
Ya. Yang
Kenapa?
ini menarik lah, sebab bila saya time belajar doktor yang basic, saya selalu tengok YouTube video. Yang mereka cuci telinga, keluarkan tai telinga. Saya suka video.
Ini termasuk yang suka lihat yang jorok-jorok ya.
Ya.
Ngeluarin kotoran telinga gitu.
Absolutely. Betul, dia memang
Okay.
betul.
And then you enjoy
Jijik
it.
banget.
You enjoy it, like the
Kita
process
bilang
of it.
lagi, kita bilang lagi apa? Jijik banget.
Ya.
Ada lagi kah?
Kita bilang apa? Jorok.
Jorok.
Ya. Najis. Ya, kotoran telinga itu ternyata mengawali kisah ketertarikan Ming Hui ini kepada dunia THT.
Yeah.
So tell us more about this talk you just gave this morning. Ya.
No, this evening.
This evening ya. Jadi tadi pagi baru nyampe dari Malaysia ke Batam, terus memberikan talk ya di rumah sakit di sini.
Yep, correct.
Batam.
So,
what was that about? I mean,
so I'm currently working for KPJ Kluang. So Kluang
what does it
is
stand for?
KPJ is Kumpulan Perubatan Johor.
Oh,
Ini adalah satu
jadi
konglomerasi yang mempunyai banyak hospital di seluruh Malaysia.
di Johor.
Tetapi asalnya daripada Johor. So KPJ singkatan dia kalau dipanjangkan Kumpulan Perubatan Johor.
Nah, ini rahasia guys.
Tidak.
Enggak, bukan gini. Banyak orang yang berobat ke Singapura kan, tapi ternyata di Malaysia itu kualitasnya nggak kalah dengan Singapura, harganya separohnya guys. Separohnya. Oh no. Anginnya kenceng banget. Oke, ya udah. It's okay, it's safe. Ya.
Are we off focus?
It's okay. Ya, we will be fine hopefully ya. Jadi KPJ ini salah satu rumah sakit ya yang di Malaysia yang juga kualitasnya bagus tapi harganya separuhnya guys. Jadi bisa ngirit kalau ke situ. Ya.
Yep.
Okay. And then
So sebagian daripada marketing hospital saya, dia bawa ke destinasi-destinasi yang ada berpotensi untuk medical tourism. Medical tourism seperti di Batam, seperti so tadi apa ceramah yang saya berikan kepada agent
insurance.
Supaya nanti actually maklumat saya time talk ini untuk memperkenalkan diri juga satu lagi memberi pencerahan sebab mungkin mereka tengok apakah operation yang saya buat, apakah cas-cas yang ternyata dalam bil pesakit dan mengapa kita buat begini dan sebagainya lah. Juga berpeluang untuk berjumpa dengan mereka-mereka yang akan bekerja dengan hospital saya. So this is a good chance to get to know them. And also so that's what we did. Nice. Yeah, just a corporate thing. Yeah, but it was great. It was great. Yeah.
Jadi minggu ini diimport dari Malaysia ke Indonesia untuk memberikan talk ya di rumah sakit di sini. Dan I never thought that one day you'll become a specialized doctor. You know, when we were in secondary school ya, kalau kita SMP ketemu temen terus kayak wah ini anaknya ini sering bercanda, ini ngaco ini ya, ini nggak mungkin dia bisa jadi dokter gitu kan. Oh ternyata jadi dokter juga ya. Jadi ini juga motivasi buat kalian yang mungkin saat ini sekolahnya nggak bener ya kan, sering main, sering nakal gitu kan. bukan berarti kalian nggak bisa jadi dokter gitu, karena kita punya Ming Hui di sini.
Thanks, bro. You are psychologist also. You're not far off, eh? Psychology is very difficult.
Yeah,
I really
Because I'm
admire.
psycho.
Yeah. Okay. Takes one to know one, right? Huh? You gotta, yeah. Well, but
Yeah.
true lah, bro.
So,
you never know, right? Never
What
know.
what advice do you have for people in general with how they treat their ear, nose, or throat?
Okay, for
Like one advice to keep our ear, nose,
Wow.
and throat.
Can I divide into ear, nose, and throat? Like, can I give 3 pieces of advice?
Sure.
Okay, so the best piece of yang paling so ear, kalau untuk telinga, kita jangan gunakan apa-apa cotton bud ataupun pencungkil apa-apa untuk bersihkan telinga.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
What?
Yeah. Have you been doing all your life?
That's what I've been doing all my life.
No.
In fact, I go to the hotel and then I find where's the cotton
Cotton
bud.
bud to do specs, right? Tidak.
Jadi
tidak baik
Ming Hui
itu.
bilang ini saran untuk teman-teman di rumah dari dokter THT, jangan pakai apapun untuk membersihkan telinga, bahkan nggak boleh pakai cotton bud. Nah, ini menarik nih, kenapa? Why?
Because
Tell us why.
sebab pengeluaran tai telinga sebenarnya di
Oke, kotoran telinga lah ya,
kotoran
tai telinga.
we call it tai telinga. We legit,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we legit call
Tai
it
telinga.
tai telinga. That's
Okay,
like the proper Malay word for it.
Oh,
Right.
tai telinga.
Tai telinga. What do you call it? Like
Kotoran telinga.
kotoran. Okay, that sounds better.
It's okay, yeah.
Okay, so kotoran telinga dihasilkan di bahagian luar telinga saja. So setiap pergerakan akan menggerakkan telinga sedikit, dia akan
Okay.
langsung jatuh dekat luar.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, kalau kita tengok dari segi mikroskopi, the cellular migration, kalau kita letak pewarna dekat-dekat dengan kita punya gegendang, color itu akan slowly keluar. So, on a cellular level, dekat peringkat sel,
Okay.
pergerakan sel dia, penghijrahan dia semakin keluar. So, secara
It doesn't come in.
sepatutnya tidak masuk. Kalau dia masuk, salah kita. Selalu pemilik telinga dia.
Okay. Now,
Yes, actually.
I used to have this weird fear. Ya, jadi dulu saya takut kalau telinga kemasukan serangga.
Yeah.
So I used to have that weird fear that when I sleep, a bug will get into my ear. So is it even possible?
It's not only possible. I actually have a video of it happening.
Oh, okay.
Would you want to see?
Okay, maybe you can send me later, and then I will put it here in YouTube.
Alright. Sure. Okay. This
If it's okay.
actually quite commonplace.
Okay.
Eh?
Ini telinga kemasukan serangga.
Yeah.
Iyo, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you did this?
Yeah, this is me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll send
Yeah.
you the video later.
Okay,
I'll send
okay.
you.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool.
Oke, jadi itu tadi tipsnya ya, nggak boleh bersihin pakai apapun.
Yeah.
Then how do we clean it? Go to ENT.
No. So actually, kotoran telinga, this time, bukan. Alright. So kotoran telinga akan jatuh di luar saja. So gunakan kain yang basah, kain bersih basah dekat luar. Apa yang
Tisu
boleh
boleh
dilap?
tak?
Boleh.
Tisu. Jadi pakai tisu dibasahin,
dilap di luar saja.
dilap di luar. Oh, oke.
Jangan jadikan muncung dan masukkan jangan ya.
Okay.
Ya just
jadi tisunya nggak boleh diruncingin gitu guys.
Ya.
Terus dimasukin telinga.
Absolutely.
Jadi ditaruh di jari. But what if we have big fingers? Kalau jari
It's
kita
even
gini
better.
gimana?
Even better. That means your towel doesn't go in.
Kadang nggak puas gitu ya guys. Kalau nggak masuk gitu kan bersihin telinganya nggak puas gitu ya. Kayak cuman di luar kurang dalam gitu.
I understand. ini disebabkan oleh habit. Kerana tabiat sudah selalu garukkan kulit dekat situ. There is micro abrasion, so you don't feel it. But what you're doing is actually micro scratches. So when the body heals, it releases this compound called histamine.
Okay.
Alright, and histamine is what makes our scabs itch. Right. So naturally we peel off the scab. So what happens when those micro scratches heal? It feels itchy. That's why you feel like scratching it again. So you scratch and it itches, and you scratch and it itches, and it goes.
Gatel terus jadi di gini.
Yeah, so it's because of the habit. So you should just try. Yeah.
Oke. Jadi tips dari spesialis THT ya, ini dari Malaysia ya, Ming Hui.
Yeah.
Tidak boleh membersihkan telinga dengan cotton bud, tetapi pakai kain ditaruh di jari, dibasahin terus diginiin aja.
Yeah, betul.
But sometimes, right, when I clear my ear with a cotton bud, I got like more dirt.
Correct. Actually, kotoran telinga itu memainkan peranan yang penting. Okay. Kotoran di telinga boleh memerangkap serangga jika serangga masuk, okay. Memerangkap kotoran-kotoran macam habuk ke apa-apa, dan dia melembabkan kulit di telinga sebab dia ada berminyak.
Okay.
Yeah. Ada juga konten sedikit lysozyme like some enzymatic dekat situ, dan juga dia bukan antibakterial yang kuat lah, tetapi ada kualiti antibakterial sedikit. So ia memainkan peranan. So sebenarnya jika ada,
so that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So we don't have to clean it.
Exactly.
Really?
Really?
Like seriously? So
really.
I can tell my wife that I don't have to clean my ear.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
What about?
So
Yeah,
jadi kita malah nggak usah bersihin telinga lo guys.
Yeah. Dekat luar lah.
Oke.
Yeah, really.
Oke. Oke, berarti ternyata kotoran telinga itu ada banyak manfaatnya malahan. Nah, ini hal yang sangat menarik dan saya baru dengar kali ini.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.
Now it gets to better part. Because as much as I like to dig my ear, I don't do that as often as I dig my nose. Jadi kadang kita suka ini ya, kalau ada yang suka bersihin telinga,
true.
Itu tidak sesering kita ngupil. Bener atau bener? Ya, kalau kalian merasa kalian tidak sering ngupil, silakan tulis di kolom komen. Berarti kalian termasuk jurusan yang sangat mulia, tidak pernah ngupil, jarang ngupil.
Yeah, so you mengupil and then you put on the wall, right?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that.
I did that when I was a child, beside my bed.
Okay.
Then my mother's like, "Why is the wall full of these things?" Like, I'm sorry, I do that.
Do you make a picture?
No, I don't.
You know, the best part is to roll it to a ball and then
throw it. Yeah.
But what about the nose dirt?
Okay, so for that's mucus. Right?
Okay.
Kita panggil mucus lah. Dalam bahasa Indo apa? Lendir ke hingus?
Hingus.
Yeah. So that one's fine. Kadang-kadang production dia terlalu banyak. So itu okay. Itu boleh. Boleh. Tapi kalau kamu mau tahu apa satu nasihat untuk hidung lah? Saya nasihatkan jika kamu ada masalah resdung.
What is that?
Resdung. You all don't know resdung.
What is resdung? No idea. What is resdung? The English part? Rhinitis.
Do you have rhinitis?
Allergies
like flu.
Yeah. Flu, but it's non-stop.
Yes, like
caused
non-stop.
by allergy.
Allergies, yes.
My son actually has that.
Yes, like it's always itchy.
Ya, jadi kalau hidung gatel, okay.
Itchy, and lots of mucus. Banyak lendir.
Ingusnya dan gatel.
Selalu sumbat.
Selalu hidung mampet.
Ataupun selalu bersin.
Selalu bersin.
Kadang-kadang bukan saja dekat sini, kadang-kadang mata pun gatal.
Oh, mata gatal.
Ada.
Okay.
Does your son have that?
Not sure
really.
about the eyes, but yeah, he has that.
Yeah, for me, this is something personal lah, because my own parents, of course back then we didn't know so much. So my own restung, in Malaysia we call it restung lah. My rhinitis was largely untreated until adulthood, and when I first started treating my own rhinitis, it was a revelation. Like somebody opened up a new door. Like,
wait. So you treated your own rhinitis?
When I joined ENT, I asked my friend, "Hey, what's going on with me?" Yeah.
Okay. Jadi dia sudah lama alergi, punya. Is it the same as sinus? Different.
A little bit different, right? Sinuses are in the face. Rhinitis is in the nose, but it's about the same.
Rhinitis ya. Bahasa Indonesia saya kurang tahu, mohon maaf. Kalau ada yang tahu bisa tulis kolom komen. Jadi minggu ini sudah dari kecil ya, sudah dari kecil punya rhinitis ini. Terus ketika jadi spesialis THT, dia tanya sama temennya, kenapa seperti itu? And then
but that's before I became a specialist. So it was. They said, why don't you try nasal spray? So dia bagi try ubat, then like, wow, why has nobody treated this before?
Oh, so you just use that NaCl spray?
No, not NaCl. It's actually ada ubat dia.
Oh,
ada ubat. Yeah.
Because we have this some of the counter medicine in Indonesia that is NaCl inside. You spray it, right?
Yeah, correct.
But it's not that.
No. You medicated sprays. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
I need to get it from you.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I can shoot
So
you off.
you use that?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, every day for a while. Then we can think of tapering down. Supaya tidak guna banyak. Aim is control. Penyakit ini tidak akan hilang sebab ini alergi yang sedia ada dalam badan. So sensitif dia akan.
So it doesn't matter what causes the allergy.
Doesn't matter so much. It doesn't. If you are able to achieve good control, I usually don't ask my patients to do an allergic test unless you try lots of medication, you tried surgery or considering surgery, and you still don't know what to avoid. I would ask you to do an allergic test. For me, that's my practice.
Ini luar biasa guys, informasi yang sangat berharga untuk para orang tua ya, yang anaknya sering pilek, batuk pilek nggak sembuh-sembuh, terus dikasih obat ini obat itu nggak sembuh-sembuh, kemungkinan karena alergi, dan kadang alergi kita juga nggak tahu alerginya apa. Jadi menurut Minggu nggak harus dicek semuanya alergi gitu, bisa dicoba dengan semprotan ini yang ada obatnya ini. Ya kalau dokter Indonesia itu biasa sarannya langsung kasih obat mereka atau dioperasi gitu.
That depends. Yeah. Really? Is it usual practice?
Well, it's those that I've met. At least.
If you don't mind, Andrew, do you mind me asking what your son's treatment is on?
Right
it's a little bit personal, right?
Yeah, it's okay. Right now, we are still not sure what's the cause. Is it because of dog fur? Because we just adopted a puppy, right? A while, maybe about 7 months ago.
Nice.
And then that's when he started having those non-stop coughing and flu. But then we went for a trip to Singapore and Malaysia for about 10 days. And he still has a little bit of that. So maybe he was allergic to cold.
That depends.
And then we were coming up with different theories of maybe allergic to dust or whatever, but I'm still not sure what to do yet, whether to do an allergic test or...
okay.
But now I hear this, so wow, thank God.
So if so an allergic test nowadays, actually if you can afford it, it is quite unintrusive because it's just a blood test. They withdraw your blood and they test your antibodies against specific items, dog, cat, crab, whatever. Last time we used to actually use actual allergens and make a small scratch on the skin to see which one started itching. So that one is quite invasive. We take blood nowadays. Quite useful to know. Especially if you want to know whether to get rid of the dog. I'm sure you form emotional bonds and everything, you know. So it's still valuable to know.
Oh,
But
oke.
I
Jadi
would
untuk
say
cek alergi sekarang lebih nyaman lah, nggak separah dulu gitu ya.
Yeah.
Tes darah sedikit aja dan bisa dicoba. Oke. And then
Yeah.
what's your suggestion for that nose treatment thing?
I think you should see a ENT doctor, of course.
I am seeing now.
Yeah. We should bring imaginary Andrew Junior, and then we
Oh, you have the device to test.
no, what we'll do is we do an endoscope,
Oh,
and then we just
endoscope,
look
okay.
into the nose, make sure it's not something weird like polyps or tumors or infections or
How come my ENT doctors just like do this without
without a scope.
no?
Because sometimes the scope hurts.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes scope hurts, especially yeah.
Okay.
I do that sometimes too.
So it's not because he's lazy.
Not really. I wouldn't put down any. You know, as a doctor, right? We hardly ever we don't criticize. It's like an unspoken rule that
Okay.
we don't openly criticize
Okay.
other doctors in front of patients. You know, like among doctors, yes, definitely.
Okay.
We'll hantam the doctor, like we'll
Okay.
insult the doctor, like somebody you have disagreements with, yes. But you know, unspoken doctors
we
rule.
will keep it in Indonesia, so nobody in Malaysia will know.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but like what your ENT doctor does, right? I do too.
Okay.
Especially if let's say a child,
Okay.
like 4 months old, you know, like
Uh.
for example, yeah, sure, I do that too.
Okay. Well, so for nose, just make sure.
I would say that if nose, jika selalu selsema, bukan
your rhinitis,
jenis yang jenis demam punya.
Oh, okay.
Like
Selama
macam
demam
allergic,
lah.
bukan jenis demam batuk selsema is like sentiasa ada. Wajib jumpa doktor ENT untuk bagi nasal spray.
Oh, minta nasal spray.
Yeah, minta nasal spray. It really
specific.
helps.
Any specific nasal spray?
I don't think I should.
As in containing what?
It's usually containing steroids.
Oh, steroid.
Yeah, but it's in a tidak. Because it's in a microgram dosage.
Oh, okay,
all are in microgram dosage.
Okay.
Safe for children.
Okay, jadi so that we don't mix it with just the NaCl one.
The NaCl helps, but it's a physical removal of the mucus.
Oh ya. Jadi kalau ke dokter THT yang sarankan minggu ini, kalau kita sering gatel segala macam itu ya udah ke dokter THT, nanti bisa minta semprotan hidung yang mengandung steroid biasanya.
Tetapi sedikit saja, beberapa mikrogram saja. Berbanding dengan jika kita makan, itu miligram dalam miligram, dalam spray
so
micro.
Safer,
much safer. Yeah.
So that helped your rhinitis.
Yeah, it's like open a new world. Like wow.
Okay.
Why have I suffered for? Yeah.
Okay.
No fault to my mom. Sorry, mom.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom.
Okay. Wow. So we have ear, nose, and throat. I think it's not as
common.
Maybe it's cough, right? The usual throat problem.
Yeah, or recurrent sore throats, like recurrent tonsillitis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Recurrent.
Do you have that practice of removing tonsils?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Is it recommended in Malaysia?
Depends. There are very strict criteria for which we recommend removal of tonsils.
Because it is quite. I heard it is not often in some European countries.
Oh.
But in Indonesia, it's very often. And my son had both tonsils removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a tonsil.
Tonsillectomy.
Adenotonsil. Yeah.
Adenotonsillectomy. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I do that too. That's quite a routine ENT operation.
Okay.
So an adenoid is like just like a tonsil, but it's behind the nose, right?
Behind. Yeah.
So what happens there is we shave it off, and the tonsils we remove. Look, we have a criteria. Like if you have 7 tonsillitis episodes in a year, 5 tonsillitis episodes every year for 2 years, or 3 tonsillitis episodes every year for 3 years.
Okay.
We usually recommend a tonsillectomy.
Right.
Or more subjectively, if the tonsillitis doesn't fulfill this criteria, but you find your children missing school, lots of admissions or need to stay at home and take antibiotics. The oral intake isn't good. Usually, I would recommend a tonsillectomy sooner rather than later.
Jadi buat orang tua yang punya anak yang sering sakit sampai izin sekolah berkali-kali, sakit batuk pilek terutama ya, ini memang harus cek ke dokter THT karena nanti bisa dioperasi tonsilnya. Ini membantu sekali untuk mengurangi frekuensi sakit, sembuh, sakit lagi, sembuh lagi, dan minum antibiotik berulang kali. Itu ya. Oke, wow.
Yeah, because I'm sure you know childhood is a important stage of child's development. They cannot all their resources, right, metabolically and nutritionally, should go into growing and learning instead of fighting off infections and recovering from sore throats. And you know, they should be growing and learning, right? So and going to school, and then for my side, their noses should be clear, their throat should be clear, so that they sleep well and rest well, right? So yeah, that's probably all.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much, Minghui.
Yeah, sure, man.
Hari ini kita belajar banyak tentang telinga, hidung, dan tenggorokan langsung dari spesialisnya ya. Jadi buat teman-teman di sini yang penasaran, punya pertanyaan tentang telinga, hidung, tenggorokan, atau ada mungkin penasaran pengen ngecek langsung mumpung di Malaysia, misalkan ya, jalan-jalan Malaysia ya. Sekarang ya, ini rahasia ya guys. Tiket saya dari Solo ke Jakarta sama Solo ke Malaysia lebih murah ke Malaysia. Saya nggak tahu kenapa ini pesawat di Indonesia mahal-mahal. Seriously, man.
Really?
Yeah. If we go take a flight from one part of Indonesia to another part of Indonesia, it's sometimes more expensive than going to Malaysia. Or Singapore. Ya, makanya kalau mau berobat daripada pusing ya kan, terus kadang dokternya mungkin kita nggak kenal, ya udah langsung aja ke Malaysia, bisa cari dokter Wan Minghui.
Sure. Come to Klang.
Di Kluang.
Come
So
to Klang.
maybe later you can post the address of the hospital.
Yeah, I'll definitely provide it to you.
Okay.
And of course, if you come to Malaysia, I think halal food is never an issue, right? Never an issue.
Makanan halal di
Right?
Malaysia.
Never an issue. Availability of prayer rooms, mosque, masjid, surround, no issue.
Musola di mana-mana pasti ada.
Bahasa pun lebih kurang sama.
Sama.
Right? So sure, it's great. It's a great blend, I think.
Ya, jadi ini kesempatan langka. Kita sudah dari terakhir tahun 2000 graduated
2003.
Ya, 2003
itu 21.
22 years. Ya, setelah 22 tahun nggak ketemu. Ketemunya secara kebetulan di Batam. Dan
tidaklah. There's one time we came to KL, remember?
No, but we didn't meet.
Yeah, we did.
KL?
Yeah, you came to my apartment or something like that.
Oh yeah.
There's one time.
That was before university, was it?
Yeah.
I think before university.
You just happened to come to KL
Yeah.
passing through. I think you were going.
I don't know, with my family or something.
No, it's just you.
Just me.
Yeah.
Maybe I was the one going up to your apartment, and my family was downstairs.
No. You spent the night. Kau bermalam?
Yeah.
Ada bermalam.
I think so. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
I have a picture of you somewhere in my computer, somewhere one.
Okay. Yeah. Dan ini kita chill di Batam ya.
Great place, lovely.
Tempatnya keren. Ini ada kolam, ada beberapa. Nanti saya kasih lihat. Kita pamitan dulu ya. So thank you for watching ya. Kalau misalkan teman-teman punya pertanyaan, silakan tulis di kolom komen. Dan kalau Anda merasa channel saya bermanfaat, silakan cek video yang lainnya, share dan subscribe, dan juga bisa nanti kalau ada yang penasaran pengen kontaknya Dr. Wan Minghui ya, bisa tulis di kolom komen. Kita akan berikan kontaknya. Thank you so much.
Alright, thanks man.
And let's enjoy the rest of the night and
thanks,
chill. Ya, nih tempatnya keren. Jadi ada kolam renangnya, ada pantainya di sono. Ya. Nah, itu pantainya di situ.
Actually, you can't see it, man. But do you know the sand is pink? I think.
Nah, ini pasirnya, it's pink. I think it's because of the light.
No. I don't think so.
Is it?
I really don't think so. Like, you can take some in your pocket back home and try. I think it's
okay.
pink. Yeah, I really think it's pink.
Let's swim. Bye.
Bye. Alright, bye-bye.